All right, people, we want to thank y'all for coming back and joining us on Real Tough Talk. We're going to keep the train moving and talk about the next game, which is the YGs versus the Rokkstars. Now, ever since I talked about the Rokkstars in the beginning of the season, they didn't show what I expected them to show based on their reputation. They've hit that light switch, and they've actually won 2 games in a row. Here's a team that you said that I need to pump my brakes, I need to wait for, and unfortunately for me, which I don't usually say, I was wrong and you was right.
Listen, my thing is, you was ready to judge a team by week 1. I'm not one to do that because in the next 2 weeks or whatever, anything can happen.
Right.
It could just be a one-off game that they did bad and then they recollect themselves afterwards. So I reserve judgment, or at least my worst judgment, until afterwards. If they don't change, that's when you start saying, hey, this is a serious matter for this team. But YGs obviously came out of that issue, and they're playing a lot better.
And I think the main thing that turned the team around is they got a quarterback in Mimi. And I think Mimi is an underrated quarterback. He plays high intensity, high pace, and this man loves to play the crowd. And he fits in perfectly what the Rokkstars like to do. So I think when you add those together, that's definitely something that you should expect to see successful. And I should have waited on the train, and I guess you were right. On the other side, you got YGs. Now, YGs are coming into this game 1-2. They're a team that's well known in the BQFL, but this season, this team has struggled. They now went with Dave to throw, and they're trying to get the mojo back as being that one of the elite B teams in the division.
And they have a lot of catching up to do because as Asa struggled, this team struggled, and maybe the switch to Dave is going to help them recover and play a little bit stronger. I'm not trying to kill Asa here, but he wasn't looking good. So obviously one season it may not work, and they decide to change to Dave. Hopefully that change makes a difference.
I mean, the thing I think is the biggest problem with YGs is their defense. They have a terrible defense. Right now coming in, they are one of the worst defenses in the league, in the bottom of the league. And they gave up points. First game versus Shockers, they gave up 28 points. Second game versus Blackout, they gave up 30. I mean, they gave up 14 to Newbury, but Newbury ain't known for high scoring. So I think it's mostly their defense, and I think Asa has gotten a lot of blame for it, but it's mostly been their defense. I think.
So all around, this team needed some fixing up. They needed to fix their defense pretty much.
Yeah. And
a lot of times it falls into the quarterback to make sure that they win. When the defense is struggling, now it's up to the quarterback to make things happen. And that's kind of one of the reasons why Asa probably was struggling, because too much was on his shoulders. But maybe with the leadership of Dave at the quarterback, he can, rein these guys in, especially on defense, because he's one person that helps manage the whole team. So maybe with that switch to Dave, he can get things under control.
Well, I'm going to jump right into the game and let you know what's going on. Dave, with blocking from Happy, throws a VIP, cutting in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down. Then Dave throws a VIP in the middle, who makes a nice catch with his hands for a decent game, getting to the 5-yard line. And that's amazing. The reason I specify with his hands is I've killed him before about not catching with his hands enough. I think he could be one of the best players in the league. He could be more consistent catcher with his hands. But every once in a while, he makes plays with his hands. He's a great catcher. Second and goal. Dave finds Breezy cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Meany intercepts the extra point. But it's 6-0. Breezy cuts in, getting around Mo. As he cuts back out, Dave finds him 6-0. YG.
And Breezy cuts around and makes the quick slant back outside. By then, he's already open. But by the time Mo's able to react, the ball's already thrown, and Breezy gets a touchdown.
After getting the first down, Mimi throws the Chiba on the sideline for a decent game. Second down, Mimi on 5 rush with blocking from Shaq. Runs to the sideline for a decent game, getting to the 7-yard line. Third and goal, Mimi with blocking from Shaq. Rolls left, finds Sunray cutting in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Creep doesn't stay with him as he cuts in the front of him. Chiba gets an extra point, 7-6. Rokkstars jump right back.
And right here, this is all communication here. Because they're not talking, Creep has a receiver pass right by him, He doesn't follow him. Because of that, Sunray gets open in the corner of the end zone, and Mimi's able to find him.
And Sunray is one of the most underrated players in this BQFL league. I think he's definitely a top-notch player, especially offensively. But, you know, he plays with the Rokkstars, and that's his home team. That's his brother's team. Yeah. So he's going to be with them, and I guess because he's not playing with a high elite team like a Carver Mob or Underrated, Hustlers, YMM, these top teams, that he don't get the recognition he knows. But trust me, people in Brooklyn knows this guy, and they know this scene. Definitely great play by him there. YGs get the ball. They're going to go 4 now. Dave throws the VIP in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Dave on fire rush throws to Ty, cutting in the middle, who runs on the sideline into the end zone for the touchdown. Diddy gets the 2-point conversion, 14-7. If you look here, Chiba lets him go as everybody's playing man. That's on Chiba.
Seems like both defenses are making this mistake. They're not communicating. The funny thing is, if you look at every defender here, they're all locking up. They're playing man. Chiba's the only one that doesn't follow. You see, he decides to pass off to the other defenders, but nobody's able to react because they're already locking up on somebody else, and Ty's able to run right into the end zone by himself for the score.
After getting the first down, Mimi with blocking from Shaq runs in the gap for a nice gain, get them near the 10-yard line. Mimi can run the ball. You give him a solid blocker like Shaq, he could run with his feet. Obviously, he can run with his feet. He could run and make some big gains. Great run there by Mimi. Third and goal, Mimi on 5 rush, rolls right, extends the ball into the end zone for the touchdown. Breezy intercepts the extra point. 14-13 Rokkstars. But if you look here, Ty Dickey got the tag before Mimi extended the ball. What do you think of the play?
Looking at this play, it's not necessarily cut and dry the way he's looking at it. If you look, Mimi's running towards the line. By the time Ty gets there to make the tag, the ball is already crossing the plane. A lot of people get confused by looking at the body. Was the body in the end zone? But it's not about the body, it's the ball. If the ball crosses the plane before anything else happens, it is a touchdown regardless of where his body is. So Mimi extending the ball, knew where he was, and because of that, they get the touchdown.
Remember, it's 14-13. Rokkstars chasing one. Second down, Dave throws the red in the middle for a decent game, picking up the first down. Second down, after a short pass, Dave on 5 rush, throws it up to Creek in the middle, way off target, incomplete. Third down, Dave on 5 rush, throws it up again in the end zone. Nobody there, picked off by Sunray, who pitches it to Mimi. Mimi runs all the way down the sideline for the touchdown. Jay gets the extra point, 20-14. Rokkstars take the lead, but if you look here, Diddy was open, bad throw by Dave.
And I don't understand this play here. If you see Dave, he's getting rushed on 5 rush. He looks like he doesn't have any other choice rather than take the sack or anything like that. If you look at the last play, he does the same thing. He just throws it up. So you look at the last play, he throws it up, it gets knocked down on that play. That's a red flag right there. He does it again on this play. There's no receiver in the vicinity to catch that ball. Only Sunray is there, and he ends up getting an interception. I expect David to have more experience than to do something like this. The fact that he just tosses it up rather than just decides to throw it short or something like that, you risk throwing an interception. That's exactly what he did, and they end up taking it all the way into the end zone.
And who do they got on their team that you just throw the ball up for no reason? That could just leap up over everybody and get the ball. He did it on second down to Creek, which was way off target. Yes. Then he does it again. It doesn't make any sense. He's too smart and experienced, like you said, to make these mistakes. I don't understand it. He's gonna have to explain that one. Now, this is gonna be 3 seconds left after they run 2 short plays. My problem right now is Rokkstars call a timeout. With the timeout, they give Dave a chance to call the play when he couldn't, because they didn't have any more timeouts. Then, I'm saying this because I saw what happened. Sunray and them tells Shaq, not Shaq from Rokkstars, reloaded owner Shaq. And they said, we're going to send help. Shaq says, no, let me work. Respectable. Happy's a good blocker. He didn't get enough recognition as a blocker, but Happy's a very good blocker. So what's going to happen? On the hike, Dave, on 5 rush, Shaq comes in, and Dave is able to do what? Get time, because Happy shuts down Shaq, gives Dave a few extra seconds. And if you look here, this is a crisp route right here. Creep is running, and Dave finds him in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. It's going to be 20-20, taking us into the half, tie game.
And before I get into my critiques of the half, it's just crazy the way you have to slow down one particular play and break it down or whatever. I get that you saw it, but just letting y'all guys know, when he's breaking down the play in detail and slowing it down or whatever, that's more work for me. So whenever y'all get the extra, the flair when he adds to the play, just know that he's giving me that extra 20, 30 minutes to edit that one play, because he has to, make it dramatic or whatever. I'm exaggerating, of course, but yes, of course, more work for me. That's okay, but fine. But back to the critiques. I'm going to say about this Rokkstars team, they've been battling throughout the game. That interception run back was probably the biggest play that this team was able to make. The fact that Mimi comes in and is able to put up points at quarterback, this is a different Rokkstars team on the field this season now. That Mimi is able to take the helm. But they have to clean up on defense, and certain decision-making is not always the best, especially that timeout towards the half. This could have been over. You would have had the lead if a bigger lead was the score in the half. I'm sorry.
20-20 now.
Yes. You would have had the lead going into the half if you didn't give them that extra time to make that play. Fine. And then Shaq, another person who makes a bad decision, get the help. It doesn't hurt you to get the help. What, your pride is on the line? I don't understand. Now you're putting the game on the line because you're trying to protect your pride. I don't understand it, and because of that, they end up tying the game with this YG's team, which they had a chance to put away early, probably early in the second half, if they didn't make this mistake.
YG's have a terrible defense. Terrible. And I'm trying to find a word that's worse than terrible. So I didn't end the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a bad defense, you can't afford for your starting quarterback to make mistakes like throw a pick six. Especially when he just threw a pass as a desperation play. Then he comes back to that same play and throws an interception. The worst thing about that play is on the following drive, he scores with 3 seconds left. So what does that tell you? He's always in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that pick six hurts them.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised to see him make a mistake like that. But other than that, interception, he was able to move the ball the way he wanted and score twice. And that's something you got to give him. You got to give him the fact that he had the ball 4 times, and scored 3 times out of the 4. But he threw a pick six. But at the end of the day, we talking about a team that has been struggling scoring. So, I mean, they're trying to get a spark. Dave is the guy that can give them that spark. But he has to not make turnovers, because at the end of the day, you don't have the defense that can support you with those turnovers. Other than that, I think they played very well in the first half. They got to keep it up the second half. This is a game they desperately need to win. Going to jump into the second half. You're going to have Rokkstars getting the ball 4-out. After a short pass, Mimi throws him on the gap, almost picked up by VIP. YGs believe it was an interception. Tell me about the play.
And this play right here, if you look, as the ball's thrown, VIP steps up. He gets a hand on the ball. Right when he gets a hand on the ball, he gets his hand in to knock it out to make sure he doesn't hold on to it. VIP never fully gets possession of the ball, and it falls out. It becomes an incomplete pass. Now, YGs are arguing that, hey, that was a catch.
Right.
But if you look, he didn't have full possession, and the key thing that they didn't mention is that VIP jumps for this ball. He leaves the ball, the ground slightly, but he does leave the ground for the ball. He does jump for the ball. And because of that, he has to maintain possession before he's able to run with the ball. And he doesn't do that. Because of that, it's incomplete. At the end of the day, he didn't have full possession of the ball, and that is an incomplete pass.
All right, well, they get another shot. Third down, Mimi throws the Chiba in the gap, getting to the 7-yard line. Fourth and goal, Mimi will block it from Shaq, finds Sunray in front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Shaq gives him great time. Gives Mimi 6 extra seconds. You're going to see Time watch me arguing about that, but it still don't matter how much they argue. It's still a touchdown, 26-20.
To help you, the audience see how long this play was, I'm going to actually add a clock to the top of the play here. You see it here.
All right.
So if you look, 5 seconds, the rush comes in. Shaq stays there. He blocks. 6 seconds clocks off on this play by the time Mimi's able to throw the ball. Roughly 6 seconds. And then he's able to throw the score. If you see Ty's on the sideline here, he steps inside. By the time he does that, Sunray cuts outside. Ty can't react to it, and Sunray gets the touchdown pass. But you can't blame Ty because it's hard to hold on 11 second play.
Real.
I don't see too many secondaries able to hold for 11 seconds, especially when it's hard to follow where the receivers are going.
Yep.
So you got to blame it on the fact that they didn't give any help for Jesse rushing in. I believe it's Jesse or Lewis rushing in, and because of that, Mimi's able to get the score here.
26-20, Rokkstars. Now we're going to go on the kickoff, and you know we only show the kickoff if something happens.
Yes.
Rokkstars go onside. BIP drops the ball, and it's going to be recovered by Kyle. How did he drop the ball? With his what?
With his hands.
Wait. Because he gets mad at me and says that he can catch with his hands, right?
Yeah.
How did he drop this ball?
With his hands.
Okay. The guy has to work on his hands. That's the only weakness in his game. He can run routes, he can play defense, he can jump, he can do all that. The guy does not have great hands. And I've showed you plays in his career where he's dropped the ball. This is a big mistake. Your team is down 26-20. You just gave up a touchdown. You have to give Dave the ball back. And they don't. He drops the ball. Rokkstars gets the ball. Mimi on first down throws deep to Kyle, who beats Creep in the middle. Kyle goes for the ball with one hand drop. If you look here, Sticky was open in the gap. First of all, Kyle got to go with 2 hands. He catches that ball. He goes with 2 hands. He catches that. If I remember, he was a guy who made a play before.
Yes.
Which was one of the catches of the day.
Yes.
With one hand.
Catch, yes.
So now he thinks that he's Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
And he dropped 6 because of that. But if you look here, Sticky was wide open in the gap. Second down, Mimi throws the Sticky open in the middle for a nice gain. Fourth down, Mimi on 5 rush, throws the Kai in the corner of the end zone. That's dropped out of bounds, turnover on downs.
And this is an opportunity missed because they had a chance to put away the game with them getting the ball back from YG's, and they're not able to score. So now YG's have an opportunity to at least tie the game up because Rokkstars leave some points on the table by not being able to get into the end zone.
Second down, after getting the first, Dave on 5 rush, throws deep to Breezy, who beats Sunray on the sideline, caught for a big gain, get him to the 5-yard line. I love Sunray's game. He can't guard Breezy. Too much speed, too much height. He's just a better offensive player than Sunray is a defensive.
Listen, I'm going to say this. You're saying that, Sunray can't guard Breezy. I don't know too many people that can guard Breezy one-on-one. He is a guy. He is probably one of the better receivers in this league.
Correct.
And him on the field, he can create nightmares for any defender out there, and this is one of them right here.
After they get a few yards, they're on 4th and goal. Dave on 5 rush throws a creep in the front of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Turnover on downs, giving the Rokkstars back the ball. You can't have Creep make a great route and catch the ball for a touchdown early in the game. And when it's money time and your team is down 6, he drops it. Second down, Mimi throws in the gap. Picked off by VIP. Give him the ball right back. If you look here, Mo was open near the sideline. This is what messes up Mimi's game. When he tries to do too much or up 6 with the ball, he throws the interception.
And this, again, time is running short in the half. in the game, there's no reason to rush or try to do anything that you don't need to.
Yeah.
Mo was open on the sideline. Give him the ball. You don't need that much yards. Chop up the field. Let the clock run. But Mimi is high octane in the beginning of the game, and he's high octane at the end of the game. He does not slow down for nobody, and a lot of times that leads to mistakes like this one here.
Second down after a short pass, Dave throws the breezy, cutting in the back of the end zone. Ty goes for it, the catch, and it's dropped incomplete. Third down, Dave throws a creep in the gap and runs to the 5-yard line. 4th and goal, Dave finds Diddy in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Mimi intercepts the extra point. 26-26, we have a tie game.
And this is them, recovering. Dave, again, is being the lifesaver for this team.
Yeah.
Because one thing I could say is this defense was not able to hold this Rokkstars team throughout the game. But Dave, being all reliable for this team, is able to put up points when they need to. Even though they Creep dropped that last pass in the last drive, it didn't slow him down. He's able to recover in this drive and find the end zone yet again towards the end of the game.
And this is why Dave is a vet. This is why they need him at quarterback. He's going to give them the best opportunity to win, and this is why, even when he makes a mistake, he's able to fire back and score. Great play by him there. Next drive, Kyle with a return all the way to the 30-yard line. This man is a dangerous kick returner. Great yardage on him by this play. After making a big mistake earlier, he's making a great play late. Mimi with 3 short passes getting him to the 5-yard line with the clock moving. Mimi on 4th down, throws him on the back of the end zone, high, incomplete, turnover on downs. That is a huge stop by this YG's defense.
And this is 2 straight turnovers by this Rokkstars team. The first one was an interception, quick throw, ends up going the other way, and now this one, they can't score in the end zone. 2 opportunities that they had to put the game away, and they missed the opportunity. Now the game is left tied with the game is left tied with YG's able to at least try to score and win the game.
Well, YG's can't score before the time runs out. We're gonna go into overtime. Mimi with a pass to Chiba in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Mimi throws a sticky on the sideline for a nice gain, getting him to the 15-yard line. 4th down at the 7-yard line, Mimi finds Kyle cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, creep and watch me, you never see him cutting in the back. 32-26, Rokkstars.
And if you look at this play here, you see him cutting in the back, but at first, I believe this is VIP here. Sees him go to the back, and he's pointing him out. I don't know if they're paying attention. I don't know if his voice is too low or anything like that. You clearly see him pointing them out, and none of them react. By the time anybody notices that Kai is in the back of the end zone, it's too late, and Mimi finds him for the score, and that's a touchdown there.
Dave gets the ball back. Dave on 1st down throws a Diddy on the sideline for a decent gain. 2nd down, Dave with blocker from Happy throws a Diddy in the back of the end zone, knocked away by Mo. But if you look here, VIP is open on the sideline. Dave misses him. 3rd down, Dave throws a breezy, cutting in the end zone with contact from Mo, incomplete. If you look here, Red is open short. Last down, Dave on 5 rush throws a breezy in the back of the end zone, short, tipped by Sunray. Red gets a hand on it, but contact from Sunray, incomplete. Ending the game, Rokkstars coming away with the win, 32-26 in overtime. Great way to play with it.
And I'm just gonna break down one thing I noticed in that last drive. If you notice, 2nd down and 3rd down, Dave went all the way into the end zone.
Yeah.
Rather than taking the surefire plays and getting close to the end zone and have a rather easy dump off play for the score. Dave goes for the end zone twice, and they stop him twice. So now, from I believe the 10-yard line or whatever, he has to throw the ball at greater distance, and they're able to knock it away. You see Sunray here step up. He's trying to throw it to Breeze in the back, but because they're not close enough, the play is short. Sunray's able to knock it away. Red still has a chance, but by then, Sunray with the defense here. That 4th down play was all Sunray, if you notice. Puts away the game. The decision-making on this last drive, I don't understand it. I'm sure Dave has been here before. I'm sure Dave has dealt with plays like this before. But the last 2 plays before that 4th down play is what cost him the game, in my opinion. Not to put everything on his shoulders, but he could have made better decisions on that 2nd and 3rd down. 2 receivers left open on these plays, but he's not able to reach the end zone because he's going all the way. That's a quarterback that's trying to do too much when he doesn't need to. But coming back to the hole, you got to look at their defense. Their defense, and I'm sorry, not to go into them to the tangent. You're going to talk about their defense because you say you had a lot to say. So I'm not going to really speak on the defense. I just think that Dave missed the opportunity on that last drive.
Let me tell you about the Rokkstars first. First of all, y'all got me eating crow. I'll eat it. Hey, yo, I'm eating crow. I was wrong. You know some things I said in the beginning, first game of the season. This team has won three in a row. This team is 3-1, tied for second in their division, B division. This team is number 3 in scoring. Only teams that score more than them is Shockers and Blackout. The two teams that are the top teams in the division. Rokkstars got to work on their defense. They're number 6 in defense.
Yeah.
They gave up 26 points today. That's bad. That's really bad. But at the end of the day, they're 3-1. That's something that's a work in progress. I still think you're a top offensive team because you have a top offensive player in Sunray. Chiba's making plays. We've seen Kai making plays. Mo's on this team, and they haven't really used Mo like that. Mimi has not really thrown Mo the ball. This team is very dangerous. YGs are bad. They're 1-3. They made several key mistakes. Dave threw a pick 6. They fumbled on a kickoff. They dropped a touchdown. And Dave went 1 for 4 in his last drive in overtime. That's 4 things that's going to get you beat. You can't make all those mistakes and expect to win. Not going to happen. This YG's team is the worst defense in the league. They give up an average of 26 points a game.
Ouch.
The crazy thing about that average is only Blackout scores that much points. So if you take out Blackout, YGs give up more points than anybody scores.
So,
did you understand what I said?
Yeah.
They give up average more points than any team in this league outside of Blackout scores.
pretty much that means that any team that has you score more on YGs than you will on any other team.
Your average will go up if you play this team.
Pretty much, that's what you're saying. That's not good at all.
They're top 5 in offense in the 18 division, and I think that's because they got Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Dave's going to put points up. But if Dave is going to be expected to carry this offense, he can't make the mistakes he made. 2 key drives, the pick 6, and going 1 for 4 in overtime. That's all she wrote. Now, they have a good team. Red, Breezy, Happy, Ty, VIP. They got a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me. You can't have that much time to have a terrible defense. Now, their defense is bad because they don't communicate. You see them arguing with each other. Nobody knows where they're supposed to be. They don't communicate.
Yeah.
So it's either 2 things is wrong when you're giving up so many points. You either don't like each other, which I'm pretty sure they don't. It's not an issue because they're cool. Or you don't trust each other. Either or. Mm-hmm. You cannot give up 26 points a game. That is terrible. More than any other team in the league. 1-3? 1-3? I don't understand this team. And you know, they got mad about certain plays. If you look right here on this play, VIP was upset about this. He wanted me to call a holding penalty. Mm-hmm. I'm not even looking. If you look at where I'm at, he got held for a second by Mo. I can't see it. But at the end of the day, Dave started arguing about a hold on the other side. This team is so worried about arguing with the refs, arguing with each other, that they give up 26 points a game. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to put it on Dave because then he kind of resuscitated this dead in the graveyard offense. But defensively, unless Dave is going to go and get some Deion Sanders and Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, I don't see it turning around.
Wait, you're talking about the actual Deion Sanders and whatever?
Yes, unless he get those players to come play on this defense.
But they're all old now.
Yeah, them guys old now. It's better than this defense.
Ugh.
Bottom line. They got to turn it around because it doesn't get any easier. You got tough teams in this division, and the thing about it is all the teams can score. Yeah, one team scoring 26 a game, one team scoring 22 a game, 21 a game, 17 a game. You got teams that score. So your defense, you're going to have a shootout because your defense can't stop anybody. We're going to wrap this game up with Rokkstars beating YGs 32-26. We're going to be right back.
Can't see this all every down.
Next game up, and we have a special one for you. You're going to have the C division. Now, we usually cut B's when week B, 1 week C one, but this is a special game that the commissioner wanted us to do. It was East New York versus Primetime. Now, these guys used to play with each other. On the same team. And the key is every time this team met, it was either 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, so everybody wasn't there. Finally, they get a game that it's a reasonable time, everybody's there. So this is going to be a great one. What do you expect from this game?
I expect for Prime to do what he does best. And one thing I can give him is he knows how to put up points.
Right.
You know, with this team, with a lot of athletes on it, I expect him to try his best to put up some numbers.
Right.
I also expect Creep, who's, at the helm at quarterback here, who has an arm, who's able to, get it downfield whenever he needs to. I expect Primetime to be able to put up points as well. So I see a high-scoring game, potentially.
I'm looking at the stats. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I potentially see a high-scoring game. One thing that I wanted to see was if this East New York team is going to be able to slow down probably one of Primetime's most consistent players on the other side, which is Pig on offense. He's been doing really well for this Primetime team. Whenever they put up points, Pig is always involved in their offense. So that he's one person that I want to see if this East New York team is able to slow him down. So pretty much on the Primetime side, I'm looking at Pig to have a big game. On East New York side, I'm looking at Prime to put up some numbers. So those two things I'm expecting to happen on both sides.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game right now. We're going to start with East New York getting the ball. First down, Prime throws Enrique, beats Earl on the sideline. That's inside, runs into the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Earl never sees him on the sideline and reacts late. 6-0, East New York.
If you look on this play here, you see Earl trying to pick up the receiver that's short here. By the time he notices that there's a receiver behind him, the ball is already thrown. Look at the safeties. They're following one receiver and leaving that gap wide open, so there's nobody to help Earl with this receiver on the sideline, which is Rike, and he's able to run right into the end zone for the score.
Creep throws short to Juan. That's going to be dropped. Second down, Creep throws a Brett in the grab. That's going to be dropped. Can somebody do me a favor? I know a few weeks ago we talked about football, but can we bring him back?
Yeah.
Because I just seen Juan drop the ball. I just seen Brett drop the ball. Now, we got mad at football because of his effort. I still think he's a good player. These guys are trying and dropping the ball. That's even worse.
Yeah.
And like I always say, Brett should never play offense. That's just my opinion.
There you go with that.
Fourth down, Creep on 5 rush, rolls left, throws the pig wide open in the gap. who runs for a big gain of first down. Pig is having a great game. He's listening finally and staying on offense. Pig should never play defense again because he's not the same player he was before. But offensively, he's a playmaker. Creep likes him and finds him. Great play by them to pick up the first down on fourth down.
For some reason, Pick always used to say that he's always open. He's one of those guys that I'm always open, I'm always open. But right now, it looks like that's the truth because he's yet open yet again on a play like this.
2nd and goal. Creep finds Meek in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-6, they tie the game up. Now, Pig was one of their most consistent players, but Meek is their best player. He is their best player. You have to get him involved. Great play by him. They tie this game right back.
And you got to give Pig credit on his job. Without him, they wouldn't be at near the end zone. He makes that play, sets it up for his player, for his teammate Meek to find the end zone for in a few plays later, and they get the score right back.
Prime on 5 rush throws a Kyle in the gap for a decent gain, picking up the first down. Then Prime throws a Speedy in the gap, who runs for a decent gain. If you look here, Speedy runs a delay route and Pratt reacts too late. Maybe he's still worrying about offense. I don't know what's going on. But Speedy knows how to get open on that gap, gets the play here to get open. 3rd and goal. Prime with blocking from Speedy, cuts inside, back out, runs it in for a touchdown. 12-6, they score right back.
That play prior that was thrown to Speedy for a few yards, I think that play is kind of what set up this next play here. If you look, and I'm going to break out this play then the next one.
Right.
If you look at Pratt on this side, it looks like he's waiting for the rush to come in. It looked like he was probably going to help with the rush coming in. Speedy doesn't block. He comes right out as the ball giver rushes in. He has the easy lane in the gap for a big yardage there on that play there. That sets up this running play with Prime running into the end zone. And Prime knows exactly what to do and when. He gets near the end zone, he uses the defense to roll out, sets up a play where all the receivers go one way, all the defenders follow. Prime is able to cut to the right side of the field and runs right into the score. That's some thinking right there by Prime, the quarterback, and he puts up yet another touchdown.
2nd down after getting the first. Creep throws the Pig, cutting in the middle, overthrown, incomplete. 3rd down, Creep on 5 rush, runs in the gap for a decent gain, getting to the 15-yard line. Last down, Creep on 5 rush, gets sacked by Randy. Turnover on downs. If you look here, Creep steps right into him on 5 rush. 1 minute left in the game. This is all on Creep.
And they were arguing saying that he rushed on 4. No, he didn't. If you look, he's all the way back. By the time 5 rush is called, he's not too far from the scrimmage. So as soon as he's rushing in, Creep runs up and runs right into the sack. So 4th down, it was probably 15 yards away, but you don't even give yourself a chance to throw the ball. Creep not knowing where he's at, and that caused a turnover.
After a short pass by East New York, Primetime calls a timeout when East New York had none. I'm surprised at Tiki. I don't understand why he would call a timeout when they had none. The clock was going to run. Maybe you can tell me.
I mean, I'm just as clueless as you. Maybe they were trying to slow down the clock to try to get the ball back.
Maybe they wanted to get some autographs or something.
But regardless of what, do not give this East New York team a chance to drive down the field with any time on the clock.
Well, I know Prime is going to thank him. You know how? He has 2 short passes, get him to the 1st down, and then gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 1st down, Prime throws deep to Chris, open in the gap, who runs it in for the touchdown. Nas gets the extra point, taking it to the half, 19-6. If you look here, both safeties follow Nas because they got to respect him, leaving Chris wide open for the touchdown.
This is puzzling to me on a play like this. First of all, you have 2 safeties for a reason. I understand Nas is a dangerous player that you have to worry about, but you don't need both safeties following him. You need one to announce that they're going to pick him up and the other one to go on the other side. There's a reason why one safety is on each side. But both follow Nas cutting to the left, and you see Chris wide open on the other side. Prime is definitely going to find him as he does here for the easy touchdown on this play here.
I don't know what's up with this Primetime team. Tiki's an experienced coach. Tiki knows the game. You know, they had the ball twice. They went one for 2. You'll take that. You know, they got stopped once. You know. But my problem is ECN scored 3 times. They scored on every drive.
Every drive.
I thought Primetime was keyed on defense. Don't look like it. I thought they were supposed to shut down Creep because, they were supposed to shut down Prime because every time they play Prime, they don't have everybody. Looks like they got everybody here to me.
Mm-hmm.
Tiki has to get it done. These guys have to play discipline. They look lost. They look like they don't know what they're doing. And that sack on Creep is just Creep being Creep. You know, Manny being Manny? Creep being Creep because he steps up right into the sack. And then said the guy came at me early. That's why the team is down 19-6.
And what can you say about East New York? I said that I saw Prime putting up points, and that's exactly what he's doing. This defense on East New York is holding, only giving up 6 points. Credit to them. But I think the story of the game for them is their offense. Prime leading the charge. He's able to run into the end zone and throw 2 touchdowns, finding his guys, knowing how to break apart the defense. Even when the time is running down, he's able to score quickly. That first play that they was able to score just shows how this team was going to play throughout the game. And in the first half, it looks like they're running away with it early.
On a return, Meek has a lane, but Warrior misses the block, throwing out the 45.
Just looking at the play here, he notices one person that he goes to block, but he clearly misses Nas. Nobody blocks him. And because of that, they lose the opportunity for the first down as Meek had the lane, and unfortunately, that's a 4 and out.
Creep on 5 rush, runs in the middle for a decent gain. Second down, Creep throws a Mach on the sideline. Mach with a great one-handed catch at the 5-yard line. Now, I know I killed Mach in the B division for his throwing, but the guy can make plays. He's a guy that can play offense and make you hurt. He can hurt teams. I see him doing when he plays with Don't Sleep. This is an amazing one-hand catch.
And a much-needed catch because now they have an opportunity to score here on that one play from him.
Third and goal, Creep on 5 rush, throws the Meek in the back of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Fourth and goal, Creep throws the Meek in the back of the end zone. High, incomplete. If you look here, Pig is wide open in the end zone. Creep misses him, turnover on downs.
And this is Creep. The whole play, if you look at this whole last play, he was looking for Meek all the way.
Yep.
He was looking for him all the way, and because of that, he tosses the play up thinking that Meek is going to be able to go for it, but this play was way too high, and I think that the more surefire play is throwing it to Pig in the corner of the end zone, but you see Pig and Creep discussing the play, but right here, I don't think that Creep saw him at all. I think that he was looking for Meek Gold the whole way, but because he misses that throw, it leads to a turnover.
Second down, Prime on 5 rush is sacked by Joe. Big sack by Joe because Prime is one of the top runners in the league. Way to shut that down. Third down with blocker from Speedy. Prime throws deep to Kyle, open on the sideline. Nice gain. If you look here, Meek follows Nas, leaving Kyle open. Meek is so focused on following Nas. This defense is so focused on following Nas that they're decoying him. Nas only caught an extra point. He didn't catch any touchdowns, even though East New York has 3 already. And this is a great setup play for them to catch him, and Kyle makes a nice play. Fourth down, Prime throws Enrique in the middle, short, incomplete, turnover on downs. Primetime makes their first stop of the game.
And the crazy thing is that was their first stop. In the second half, late in the second half is when they start, they get their first turnover. That just shows that Primetime is not playing good defense at all in this game. And finally, Prime is able to make a mistake in this game that causes them a turnover.
Creep with 2 passes for a decent gain, getting him to the 10-yard line. Third down, on 5 rush, Creep is sacked by Randy. 2 big sacks on 2 drives that we seen Creep get sacked. Fourth down, Creep with blocking from Pratt. Those are showing the back of the end zone, way off target. Turnover on downs. If you look here, Mach is wide open in the corner. Creep once again makes a mistake.
Their defense is not holding, so it's up to your offense to keep this team in the game. And right now, it doesn't look like it is. Creep is not making the good decisions. He's not looking and finding these receivers. After 1 touchdown he had in the first half, he's struggling to score another one late in the game. They're about to give up the game if they don't score and do something quick.
Prime with 2 short plays for a short gain. Third down, Prime scrambles on 5 rush, throws it up to Kyle, knocked away. East New York has to punt. That is another big stop by this Primetime defense.
It seems like this East New York team is starting to play down their competition. I think that they feel that they have a big lead, so they don't really have to force themselves to score too much. They're still running the clock anyway, so they're not worried about it. I guess they have confidence that their defense is going to hold, knowing that Primetime is struggling on offense. So let's just see if their decision not to take this drive seriously or works well for them in the end.
Second down, Creek with blocker from Pratt. Throws deep to Pig, who makes a catch at the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. 19-12. Great throw by Creek. If this guy can learn to be consistent, he will be a top quarterback in this C division. Great throw, and Pig is having a great season catching the football when he's only playing one side of the ball. He can give all his energy on that side of the ball, and he's making great plays. Great play by him there.
And he has been their most consistent guy even in this game, because every time he gets the ball, he makes a big play for this team. So Creep needs to start looking for him a lot more. He should be their first option from now on if he's going to be this consistent. Yes, Mika's a better player on offense than Pig, but Pig is right now the guy that's getting them into the end zone. So you should be looking for him first. He does that here, and they make a big play for the score.
Not a lot of time left. Primetime has to go on onside. The ball is gonna be thrown. The ball is gonna land near the line. Recover by Warrior, but the ball does not cross the 50-yard line. The guys went crazy. They said they short pass, this and that. Ghost, show us the way only Ghost can show us what happened on this play.
If you look at this play, first of all, I'm going to slow it down.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to let the ball drop. If you look at the play, the ball is thrown. You see the 50-yard line here. If you look, the ball drops right outside of the line. It does not cross. Right on the line, the ball falls, and then it bounces back into the other side. Warrior gets the ball, but since nobody touched it and it didn't cross the line, that's a penalty right there, and East New York retains possession of the ball. That's unfortunate because an inch more and that ball would have crossed the line, but give it an inch for it not to cross, and East New York retains the ball.
Prime is going to run out the clock, ending the game. 19-12. East New York comes away with a win. We're going to get an interview with Prime. We're going to be right back. What's going on? Stephen J here with East New York starting quarterback Prime. Your team moves up to 3-1 right now. Why ain't nobody really talking about y'all in the C division?
Basically, we new to the C, so I got to prove myself. I won in the C2, then won in this division, like my third season here. So I got to prove to these guys, to these other teams, that we going to be a problem in the upcoming season. So
your last two games right now, you have 7 touchdown passes and you ran one in. Why it seems like you're getting hot, like you're on a roll right now?
Oh, that first game woke me up. Had on the wrong cleats, was slipping, sliding, falling. My mind wasn't there. Still ain't get over the Final Four loss in the summertime. After the first game, looking bad, I'm ready to go now. I'm hungry. Ready.
Was it a little extra, little motivation today, knowing that you have to play primetime?
Big. They said, oh, it's not 8 in the morning. They're yelling it out. They always talking about me. Oh, he can't throw. All he could do is run. I'm going to keep proving to them. Every time I see them, I'm going to keep proving it to them. If I got to beat them 10, 20 times straight, I'm going to keep proving it to them. No problem.
Let us know about your celebrations when you're done. You seem like you have fun every touchdown pass, every extra point. Why does it seem like you're having so much fun out there?
The game is getting easier and easier to me. Every season, every game, every time I come out here and throw, the players around me, they come and play hard. It's getting easier and easier. And my uncle always told me, make sure you keep having fun no matter what.
Your defense was able to make things a little more difficult for Creep. You missed a lot of throws. What would you say about your defense personally?
It's about time we came to play defense. That's all I want to say. They played great out here, the hustle. And I told them, yo, our pursuit been bad in the first 2 games. The front of the end zone, we keep giving it up. Let's take away both of that, and let's see if the team could beat us over the top. Let's see.
We're going to thank Prime of East New York for being here. These guys are 3-1, top in the division. They're feeling really good right now. We're going to see you on the site.
Prime time, baby. Once again.
Wow. This is a great game.
Can
Go ahead.
I just want to say one thing. Great game. But two things I got to say about this Eastern New York team and Prime, himself. Great game overall, but I'm going to say this. They were not taking this Primetime team seriously.
I don't think they wasn't even.
This Primetime team, they struggled on offense. But when they had certain key plays, they got into it. Let's just say they get the extra point. I mean, they get the onside kick, the onside throw, and their offense gets back on the field. Just as they were able to score on that last drive, they could have scored on this one, and this could have been a completely different game. That's why you got to take every possession seriously, and I don't think that Prime and this Eastern New York team was doing that. And that's why the game kept close. That's one thing I'm going to say. The next thing I'm going to say is Prime is confident. Prime, he has that swagger on or whatever. But one thing I could say is I've seen this before. I've read this book before. And the last time I seen it didn't end well for him in that season. When he played, he came up short. He played this well, and then when it came to the playoffs, he came up short. So, I don't want him to get too confident and think that, they won a championship. He's playing well, but you got to fix the little mistakes that they make in order to keep consistent, because this game was closer than it had to be. Yes, he was able to score 3 scores in the first half, but they didn't score at all in the second. Think about that. They didn't score at all in the second half. So what did they do in the second half? They calmed down. You never take the pedal off of the metal. I don't care how big of a lead you have, because you can get a game stolen from you. And this one is one of them. Great game overall, but that's just one tangent I wanted to get out there, because this game kind of bothered me while watching East New York play in the game. That's all I got to say.
East New York jumps to 3-1. Primetime gets their first loss of the season. I think it's a very, very reason for cause of concern.
For Primetime?
For Primetime.
Mm-hmm.
They had the ball 5 times, scored twice. Creep scored in the beginning of the game and at the end of the game. That's not a consistent offense. They dropped 3 passes. One of their drops was a touchdown pass. That's big. And Creep missed on 2 drives, 2 touchdown passes on bad throws. You can see the pass here. He missed that. Right here, had a man open. Missed the throw and missed the man open. Then he got the ball again. Missed the throw and also had a man open. I know he came back and made a great pass to Pig for the touchdown. But can you wait for Creep to get hot? He don't look like the quarterback that he looked like last week. You can't have so much inconsistent play. And that has been the calling card of Creep's career. Inconsistency. And he has to decide what he's going to do. Out of all 3 quarterbacks of Primetime in all the divisions, the B, the C, and the C2, Quick is playing the best. In the C2 division. Tiki has to figure something out. He has to figure this out. Now, I give him his props because Prime scored 3 times in the first half, didn't score again in the second half.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give him a cookie because that was more Prime taking the pedal off the metal, like you said. Mm-hmm. They slowed down because this East New York team combined with the Little Rascal team, they got firepower. Prime was too busy celebrating, too busy having fun, that he snuck away with a win. But if I'm him, I'm paying a lot more attention because it's not going to be that easy. So we're going to wrap it up with East New York coming away to win 19-12. We're going to give you a rundown of some of the scores of the games. Then I'll give you the records. In the C division, Brotherhood beat Sour 33-21. Raiders are going to beat Heavy Hitters 19-12. Suicide Squad beat the YGs 20-15. Chiefs beat the Unit 27-12. Raiders won in a doubleheader they had. They beat Gravediggers 25-7. East New York beat Primetime, as we know, 19-12. In the C2, Wolfpack beat the Badgers 18-12. Bullies beat HGH 22-20. OTF beat Wolfpack in Wolfpack's doubleheader 21-0. And Primetime beat the Chiefs 36-21. Little Rascals and Power Circle game was postponed. They're gonna make that game up. With that being said, I'll give you the records of all the divisions, and we'll give you an idea of what we think so far based on the division. First one and then we'll give you our players of the week. We're gonna give you the first division we want to talk about. Blackout leads the division 4-0, the best scoring offense in the league. They average 26 points a game. Number 1 in offense, this team is number 3 in defense, giving up 15 points a game. Shockers fall to number 2. Shockers are 3-1. The number 1 defense averaging 13 points a game, and the number 2 offense averaging 22 points a game. Rokkstars tied with the Shockers. Rokkstars are 3-1. Rokkstars have the number 3 offense in the league, 21 points a game, and they have the number 6 defense, 21 points a game. Young and Reckless, they fall to 1-2-1. They have the number 4th offense in the league. They average 17 points a game. And the number 5 defense in the league, they average 16.6, which is 5th best. YGs fall to 1-3. They have the 5th offense at 16 points a game. But they have the league's worst defense, giving up 26 points a game. 8th overall out of 8 teams in the division. New Breed, 1-2-1, and the order's a little mixed up. I'm sorry. As you can see, I didn't say it right, but New Breed is out on that same level with Young and Reckless at 1-2-1. New Breed, number 6 in offense, average 15 points a game, which is usually their style they play. But they have the surprising number 2 defense, averaging 14 points a game they give up. A lot of people wouldn't expect that. Yeah. But one thing about New Breed, they play defense. Primetime, who's up there with YGs, as you see the order, they're 1-3. They score 13 points a game. The worst offense in the league in the B division, 8th place. But they're tied with Blackout for the number 3 defense in the league, giving up only 15 points a game. Then you have Gravediggers, 0-2-2. Those 2 ties are going to hurt them later. They have the number 7th offense in the league, 14 points a game, and they have the number 7th defense in the league, giving up 23 points a game. The only defense that gives up more points is the YGs. Now, my issue right now, I think Blackout showing that they're the best team record-wise, offensively. I don't think they're the best team in the league. They haven't proved that to me because this is a game they possibly could have lost. On the downside, I think Gravediggers' problem is Chino. Chino can't stay on the field. Chino is wasting his talent. The guy got one of the strongest arms I've ever seen. There's no way this team is number 7 for scoring, and this team doesn't have a win. Surprising factor, Rokkstars. I didn't give them the time of day, and this team is 3-1. Gotta give them their props. New Breed, the question is, do they got it figured out? They have Eli, quarterback now. He's a guy that looks like he can make some plays. If they score short plays and kill the clock and let that number 2 defense play, I think they're gonna make things happen. YG's the worst defense in the league, giving up 26 points a game. Them and Primetime are 2 of the worst. YG's the worst defense in the league. YG's the worst defense in the league. Primetime the worst offense in the league, which is why both teams are combined 2-6. These teams got to turn it around. Shockers prove what they can do. You know, Young and Reckless, I think, got to get it together. They're right in the middle of the pack. They got to turn it around. That's going to be the B division. Now we're going to jump. I'm going to give you the C division. Brotherhood, 4-0. First place. Tied with Raiders, 4-0. East New York, 3-1. Primetime, 2-1. YG's, 2-2. Suicide Squad, 2-2. Gravediggers, 1-2. Chiefs, 1-3. Heavy Hitters, 1-3. Sour Factory, 0-2. Unit, 0-4. Brotherhood clearly showing that they're one of the best teams in the league. I mean, what can you say? They're basically doing what they have to do, and they scored the most points. They already scored a combined 109 points in 4 games. So they're scoring. The surprising thing on this side is they have a top defense.
Yeah.
They're number 2 defense in the league. But the thing about it is they got the number 2. The problem with that is their number 1 defense in the league is Brotherhood. They have the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense. I can't wait until they play the Raiders.
Yes.
When these two teams meet, one of them is going down. What can I say about Prime? Prime is tied for the number 2 offense in the league with the Raiders. This guy scores points. And the Little Rascals offense that he has with him, them guys are playmakers in their own. When you look around, everything else is pretty much middle of the pack. I think Sour Factory is going to get it together. They just got here, but this unit team looked terrible.
Yes.
We watched their game. They look slow. They look like they have no talent, and they're one of the worst offenses in the league. They're not the worst. That goes to Heavy Hitters. Who started quarterback is Noel. This team is bad, very bad. They average a touchdown again.
A touchdown.
I'm going to change quarterback.
No extra point.
Somebody got to change his quarterback. It's not working. It's not working. I think he's a cool guy, Noel, but he can't score. That's why this team is... that's why this team is 1-3.
What, you want it up? You ready to come in?
They need to get this kid. See that kid that was talking about taking Cam's spot, and they rumor said that this kid is the kid who actually took Cam's spot now in NFL?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. They gotta find this kid. I think this kid should start for Heavy Hitters because he can't do no worse than Noel. 6 points a game, your offense average, something is wrong. That kid saying he's warming his arm up. Because right now, this Heavy Hitters offense looks terrible. And right now, the unit, you need to take their ball and go home. 0-4?
You saying it's over for them?
Yeah. Now, I've been wrong before,
Yeah.
but not for 0-4 team. We'll jump into the C2 division. Primetime, 4-0. Little Rascals, 3-0. Power Circle, 3-0. OTF, 4-1. Badgers, 1-3. Wolfpack, 1-3. Bullies, 1-3. HGH, 0-4. Chiefs, 0-3. Now, right now, the main thing in this division, Primetime. They have scored a combined 129 points. You know what that is? Quick is scoring. Quick is scoring 32 points a game. That's a league high.
Yeah.
He scored more than anybody else in the league. Now, you still got Little Rascals who's up there. They didn't play. They were supposed to play Power Circle.
Yeah.
They have another top offense, so they only played 3 games. But right now, in them 4 games, they scored, Primetime scored more than anybody.
And
go ahead.
Sorry, and one thing I gotta bring up out of the whole thing, I gotta bring up in this division is the Chiefs. They are all the way down in the pack at 0-3.
Yeah.
And I believe 2 of the 3 games they were in contention to win those games. It was 2 close games that they lost. So they can't find a way to close out games, and their defense cannot hold. Those are 2 things. What are you doing?
Ben.
Oh, sorry. Those are 2 reasons why they're 0-3. They have the potential to win these games, but they're coming up short almost every single time they come on the field. I believe that there's time for them to recover because it's not like they have the worst defense and the worst offense.
No.
It's just they're not able to get it done on the field to let it translate into wins. And that is unfortunate and why they're 0-3 right now.
And we want to really see that Power Circle Little Rascals game. Little Rascals is number 2 in scoring. And Power Circle is number 2 in defense. The only team that got a better defense than them is the Little Rascals.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a great game to see. That game was postponed. We're going to have to see. But the sleeper team in that division, OTF. we watched this team
Yeah.
in the beginning. This is a good team. They have athletes, and they got a guy who got Player of the Week, who I think is a playmaker everybody needs to watch out for.
You talking about Ty? Yes. Ty of OTF was a playmaker in that game. They also have Harris, who's also another playmaker. So those two guys, when they are on, when the switch is on for those two guys, they are a hard team to beat because these guys are two-way players and they can do it on both sides of the field. So that's one of the reasons why this team is playing well right now.
Bullies, they need to bring back Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen all the games, so I don't know if Paul is throwing, but right now, I mean, they just... one thing about the Bullies that we always say,
They have no defense.
they give up the most points in the league.
Yes.
Again, this team always has the worst defense.
That's just their identity.
Ever since we met this team, they can throw the ball downfield better than anyone. Multiple guys can get the ball downfield. But defensively, they got to be allergic to defense. It got to be, what's the card that you get when you was in elementary school?
The card?
The immunization card?
Yeah.
On there, it says allergic to defense. That's what it says on all their cards. When they were little kids, you see their picture like this.
If I could reach
And it calls them allergic to defense because they cannot stop a nosebleed.
how it feels to say.
So that's a little breakdown of all the games, all the teams. You know, hopefully I liked it. We're gonna give you our plays of the week really quick. I'm gonna give my play of the week to a guy who really helped out his team, and that's Benji from Blackout. Blackout played Shockers, and they beat Shockers 28-27. Now, mind you, Alex threw a pick 6 in that game, first play of the game.
Yes.
The key to that reason I'm giving it to him is Shockers can score. And Benji twice single-handedly stopped them a drive. One here with this great interception, he jumped the route in the red zone. And the other one, he recovered a fumble on a kickoff.
Yes.
That is two great plays that impact the game. Remember, it's not about if he threw 5 touchdowns, if he caught 4. The key is the impact. And I think the 2 plays by Benji turned the game and certified it for the win for this Blackout team to remain in first place.
And my player of the week for me is, it has to me, in my opinion, it has to be Mimi of the Rokkstars. He has turned this Rokkstars team around by himself. And in this game alone, he had 4 touchdowns passing, and he was able to run back an interception pitch to him, running back for the score. So that's 5 touchdowns he was involved in by himself. Him in the game is the reason why this Rokkstars team won this game in overtime. So hats off to this man, Mimi. He is changing around this Rokkstars team, and he is the reason why they are contenders in this season right now. So that's why he deserves a play of the week for me.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Great day. Another week out for this BQFL. Shout out to all the teams. Again, we're in the mid-part of the season. Get your pom-poms ready. Get your popcorn ready. Get your cleats ready. Because we're going to get to the nitty-gritty, meaty potatoes, going on the other way down to the hill. We're going to see y'all next week on Real Tough Talk. I'm Stephen J., my partner Ghost, and we out of here.